Hello once more, my wonderful friends. It's time again for more stories. This one's from our friend Mango. This is Mango's Fruitful collection of neckbeards and other crazies. The salad and the main course. Oh boy. Hello everyone, it's your favorite sleep-deprived and loving Mango. I apologize for not posting sooner, but I've been going through a bit of a rough spot, and honestly, ugh. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's nothing you wonderful people have to worry about. Anyway, we're gonna speed through 2 of the 3 final courses. The first on our list shall be a woman I'm going to call Reese. Now, Reese is a senior at college, but used to live in the same town as me and is a bit of an oddball. She's a little taller than me, I'd say about 5'6". She has these beautiful greenish blue eyes that I'm kind of jealous of. She also has bubblegum pink hair and is fairly thin. I met her in community theater and we hit it off pretty quick because we both liked Oran High School Host Club. That was a pretty good show. Sango and I liked that. We would talk about which of the protagonists would pair best with another and which character we liked best. I could never decide between Hikaru, Mori, or Kyoya. I like Kyoya, he's funny. Sorry for my little weeb moment. You fucking weebs. You guys keep opening me up to make jokes like that, so of course I'm gonna do it. Anyway, when I came home for winter break, we ran into each other and decided to catch up. She had revealed to me that she recently discovered that she had an attraction to women. I congratulated her on her bravery for coming out, and I was happy for her. And I didn't notice her eyeing me up and down until I looked back on it. Uh-oh. Over the weeks that we spoke, we'd hang out, get lunch, coffee, whatever, sometimes just drive around and talk. I never considered these dates, but I think looking back on it now, I can see how she may have seen it that way, even if I wasn't giving off those vibes whatsoever. I think the moment that I started to catch on is when she sent me a song that I really like. The song was called Jenny by the Studio Killers. I don't know it. I highly recommend giving it a listen, but the gist of the song is about this girl who falls in love with her best friend Jenny. I was a bit confused on why she had sent me this song. We had been sending songs back and forth, so I didn't think much of it. I was still a little suspicious. One day we're driving around and had parked for a moment just to talk, and after a moment of joking, she moved in to kiss me, and me being shocked, I move away from her. What are you doing? I was obviously shocked, to say the least. Why would my friend try to do this? Reese looked shocked and a bit hurt. I thought that you liked me. You listened and were sweet. What about the dates we went on? We stayed up late talking. Yeah, you're my friend. That's what friends do. We hang out because we're friends. I'm just so flustered I have no idea how to handle any of this. We end up arguing for a bit, Reese accusing me of sending mixed signals, and me accusing her of using our friendship and blaming me for nothing. I dropped her off and went home fuming, and after dinner that night I texted her and apologized for my part in making her feel confused, and asked if we could still be friends. She didn't reply for a few days, and when she did, she expressed her hurt, but said that we could still be friends, yes. I felt relieved, but I didn't hang out with her for a while. Give her some space, you know. One day I decided to check Instagram and found her posting a plethora of sad boy posts on how much a broken heart hurts with lots of sad anime AMVs and shit. Oh, lordy. She would also post passive-aggressive posts about my close friends and friend group husband, who we call Deku. He's a FTM trans man, and I love him to death. Deku and I met in high school. He's a grade below me, but we were also in the same community theater together, and because we're so close, we came up with a way of getting each other's attention in different situations. Like if I was backstage and he was on set and vice versa, we would just yell husband or wife at each other, this weird kind of screechy bird-like call. It's funny. Needless to say, we were thick as thieves, and apparently Reese never liked how popular Deku was, or the fact that he would have to change in the girls' dressing room because he's still pre-op. I confronted Reese about her passive-aggressive post, and she said, "Why are you defending her?" Deku is a boy, Reese. He's been on testosterone for a few months. Well, he can't really be trans because the surgery hasn't been done yet. Oh, I hate that. I can't tell you how much unholy rage I felt in this moment, and it took everything within me not to push her out of my car and just drive away. But I took a breath, and I looked at her. Just because he hasn't gotten surgery doesn't mean that he isn't trans, Reese. Look, just take the post down, and everything will be fine. Reese reluctantly did, but after that encounter, she's been quite cold to me and hasn't responded to the last comment I sent, but that doesn't really matter to me. I consider her out of my life now. And a very good decision that is. Alright, on to the main course. I'm just warning you guys that the main course is not a funny one. In fact, it was a quite traumatizing experience for me. I'm a little naive on certain things, so sorry to hit you with something relatively funny and now something kind of sad. This is a story about a time where someone controlled my happiness like some sick puppeteer and had no plans to ever let me go. I assume you all know who Onision is and the effect he had on his victims. Oh, lordy. We're opening that bag, are we? Okay. Well, for a while, I had my own little Onision. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. When I was in middle school, there was this guy who I had the biggest crush on. To me, he was absolute perfection. He had tanned skin and reddish-brown hair and these gray eyes that, when they landed on me, gave 12-year-old me all kinds of goosebumps. We're going to call him Greg, since I mentioned Onision. Greg was a grade above me, so he was 13, and he was on the football team. We became friends when I joined the student council, and it felt like he really understood me. I had confided in him that I was having body image issues like any person, and he used this against me. When we would hang out, he would always talk about how much prettier I would be if I was thinner, so I started cutting out food and replaced it with water and celery and cucumbers. Then he would comment on my clothes and interest. It was wearing on me because I wasn't eating as much, and my parents and friends got worried and thought that I was sick, and I would experience dizzy spells, and I was increasingly tired. I'd tell them, don't worry, and I kept it up for almost 3 months. Eventually, I convinced myself that if Greg was happy, then it would all be worth it. Besides, if I got thinner, it would mean that I would be liked more, right? I mean, you never see fat models suffering from acne and puberty mood swings. At least that's what I convinced myself at the time. I was emotionally comatose, and whatever Greg seemed to do, I would willingly bend to it, because that meant in his eyes, well, they would linger on me just a little bit more. Soon it wasn't just eyes that would land on me. One day, while we were alone in student council, we were talking about some shows that we liked. I expressed how I liked this show on Nickelodeon called Winx Club, which he chastised me for, and said how dumb the show was, and I laughed and thought he was joking. In return, I joked that his love of Yu-Gi-Oh! Was silly. Because of what I'd said, Greg grabbed my arm and hit my head with a closed fist and yelled, "Don't ever say that again." What a fucking asshole. He'd hit me in the arm before letting me go, and when the vice principal, Mr. B, had checked on us, he saw me crying and asked what was wrong. It was then that those eyes no longer became something that I longed to see, but something I feared. He glared at me and shook his head, so I looked at Mr. B and wiped my eyes and said, "Oh, I ran into a chair while messing around." And he told me to be more careful, but he didn't pry anymore. I became Greg's punching bag for a while. If I laughed too loud, he would hit me. If I told him that I didn't like what he liked, he would twist it so that it was my fault that I felt this way. Some days when he wasn't around, and if someone was next to me and they raised their hand to answer a question, I would flinch and almost curl up in fear. I went into 7th grade, and he would hit me more often and convince me that he did this because he wanted to make sure that if I ever got a boyfriend, then I could make said boyfriend happy. He made sure no matter where he hit, he wouldn't be seen. Eventually, Greg was pulled out of school, not because of what he did to me, but because he brought his airsoft pistol and painted the orange part black to scare 6th graders, and a teacher saw it and thought it was real, so school went on lockdown. Last I heard, he now has 2 kids who he pays child support on, and looks like that one kid from school who thought he was a real gangster just because he listened to rap but is scared of any dark-skinned people. Anyway, thanks for reading this, guys. I'm glad you're in my life. Make sure to love like today is your last, and keep your arms open for hugs. Much love, Mango. Well, it's kind of heavy right near the end. I don't believe I have to mince words, and I imagine YouTube's algorithm doesn't like it when I say things like this, but as for Greg, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck everything he does. Fuck his entire existence. I hope he has 5 kids and ends up paying for all of them and never sees any of them. I hope his fucking trailer burns down. I hope this motherfucker gets hired for the job that he really fucking likes, the one that's his dream job, and does something to fuck it up and loses it. Because that's what happens when you abuse people. To me, all you get is fucking hate from me. Fuck that guy. I am so sorry you had to go through that, Mango. That's fucking horrible. That is... ugh. I don't even know what I could say, but I have a shovel if you want to hit him with a shovel. I have a couple. I have one that we've had to use to dispose of, let's just say, garbage. And I mean literal garbage, actually. I just realized how that could be taken in many different ways, but no, it actually was garbage. You could use that one. I know, YouTube is probably like, you shouldn't be advocating violence. He fucking beats people. Fuck him. Okay? I don't give a fuck, Susan. Get mad at me, I guess. Whatever. Fuck that. Fuck that. Just fuck it. No. 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 And if anyone you know, if you or anyone you know, not to sound like Robert Stack there for a minute, is going through this, 2 things you need to remember. You do not owe your abuser fucking anything. They'll tell you you do, but they're a fucking liar. That's how they work. These fuckers lie. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything. It is never your fault. And 2, the most powerful way you can get back at them is to fucking vanish. They expect drama. People like that expect drama. They expect fighting. They expect all this recourse. Vanish. Say nothing. Leave and never speak to them again. It'll fuck them up for life. They can't handle that shit. Narcissistic, abusive, fucking cunts like that cannot fucking handle it. So fuck them and hit them where it hurts. You're an amazing person, and you don't fucking deserve that. I love you guys so very much. I can't thank you enough for being here. And every day seeing you guys support each other in this community means the world to me. So keep being fucking amazing. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Thank you everybody for watching, and a special thanks to my Moonfrindio Babbsy-kun for, well, being that. If you would like to donate to my Patreon, and maybe even join this tier, you can do that by going to, well, Patreon. And if you have your own story you'd like to send in, you can send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. And I also have a merch store if you'd like to buy something there. The links to all that and more are in the description down below. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye!